Evening world, 7:30 in the evening on the 31st of March. I'm looking at the Grand Cross in connection with the horoscope of the United States of America. I'm using the USA chart as being the 4th of July, 1776, at 10 past 5 in the evening in Philadelphia. I'm not looking at the USA's chart in connection with its Mercury-Pluto opposition, even though that Mercury retrograde in this Plutonic Scorpionic 8th house is opposite Pluto, which is to an extent some of the more conspiracy orientated or paranoid fantasies that's often associated with elements of American media. But I'm not looking at that. Neither am I looking at that beautiful Venus-Jupiter conjunction in America's chart, which is the sort of mum's apple pie thing, the generosity, particularly in terms of foreign aid, and the big-hearted, generous nature of the American people. This is fine. This is under positive aspect from Neptune all of this year, and fine. I'm not looking at the Mars-Neptune square, which is all about America's need for safety and security at home and the attendant worries of that. That's not what's phasing me at the moment. And I'm not even looking at Uranus opposite the ascendant in America's chart, which brings its somewhat sporadic and eclectic relationships with both neighbours and other nations. I'm not even looking at America's moon on its own, unaspected in Aquarius. What I'm looking at is America's sun. The day America was founded, on the 4th of July 1776, the sun was square Saturn. By about 1.5 degrees, it was approaching. And this is regardless of the time. And this year, Uranus in the sky is squaring the American sun and opposite the American Saturn. Now, this type of phenomenon, or something very similar, happens every 21 years, so it's not uncommon. But at the same time, Pluto is now opposing the American sun. And next year, Pluto will both oppose the American sun and square the American Saturn. So I cannot help but conclude that this 2-year period of 2014 and 15 is leading to a major restructuring of the American dream and the ideals that America was set up for. But there's going to be a change in the way America manages its boundaries, and I do expect to see some type of greater distinction between different parts of America. That it's not so much going to fragment, but more become more distinctive in different boundaries according to economics and demographics, I imagine. Later in the year, when Jupiter moves into Leo, there's a lot of sustainable growth for America, particularly financially. And really, whilst I'm suggesting that the next couple of years are pretty major in terms of fundamental change and reorganisation, this does not necessarily mean financial challenge or hardship. But the Grand Cross is affecting America's chart big time. Mars is on America's Saturn. Jupiter is on America's Sun. Pluto is opposite America's Sun. Uranus is squaring America's Sun. The whole nature of America's identity, its philosophies, its beliefs, what it stands for in the world, how it walks its talk, how it lives life according to its philosophies, is up for grabs, it's up for reorganisation, restructuring, and a lot of old structures and boundaries, particularly around the way that money is managed by need, are going to be shattered. And there will be, with Uranus opposite the American Saturn, some sudden financial disclosures and disruption over the coming month. I don't think the American people are going to be too affected by this collectively. I do think that elements of the American institutions, particularly those that are archaic, stuck in the past and rigid, are going to take a bit of a battering. Tomorrow, I'm going to look at the Grand Cross and the way it's affecting Putin, Cameron and Obama. Until then, nice and light subjects. Catch you later. Bye.